In today's episode, data dashboards for building a strong coach-admin partnership with special guest Andrew Ranson. Hello, coaches! Welcome back to another episode of Coach Better Quick Tips. My name is Kim Cafino, and I've worked with hundreds of teachers, coaches, and leaders in schools around the world through my courses, consulting, mentoring, and membership to help them create thriving and sustainable instructional coaching programs. And I'm on a mission to help you coach better. Wherever you are in your coaching journey, we can support you. Ready to take your next step? Get a tailored list of resources designed specifically for your experience level to help you coach better today. Take our free quiz at coachbetter.tv/quiz to get started. In today's video, we have a special guest, Andrew Ranson, high school instructional coach at Shanghai American School and graduate of the Coach Certificate and Mentorship Program. Andrew is also featured on the podcast later this season in a case study episode. So if you enjoy this quick clip today, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that episode. This Quick Tips episode is focused on something that many coaches struggle with: how to share coaching data with your principal in a way that is both confidential for your coaching partners and creates a strong coach-principal partnership. During his time in the coach, Andrew created a tool that is deceptively simple and has had a hugely powerful impact for his work with his principal. He calls it a data dashboard. If you're curious about what to share and how to share it, and how data can prompt great conversations with your principal, this episode is for you. And I have a whole nother episode all about how you can measure your impact and what that looks like in your practice that I'll link for you up here and in the show notes, and I'll mention in my outro at the end again. Okay, let's jump into this clip with Andrew.
Hello, my name is Andrew Ranson, and I am an instructional coach at Shanghai American School in the Pudong High School. And I'm also a graduate of Eduro Learning's The Coach with Kim Cofino. I am talking to here about the coaching check-in data dashboard that I created for the coach. And a couple of things come to mind as I think about this. This dashboard came as a response to a little gap that I'd noticed. I had, for years as a coach, I've been collecting data about my interactions with my coaching interactions, and then in working in schools, I would report that. Usually, it's end of year and sometimes mid-year check-ins. So it was kind of generalized. There was lots of information available, kind of at a high level. And when I came to Shanghai American School, I came in the same year that there was a big coaching overhaul, and all of us who there were 15 of us plus an administrator who created a framework to really define what coaching is and what it was and wasn't, what it wasn't, and all those things. And we agreed on that there were 4 coaching stances that we would hold. And in our school, those 4 are coaching, collaborating, consulting, and facilitating. So as I was tracking my data, I wanted to be able to share that with them. I had a weekly check-in with my principal and vice principal, and I found that it was hard for them to see the entirety of my work. Like we talked a lot about some parts of it, but not at all about others. And I didn't know how to kind of meet with them and get them to understand like the bigger picture of what I was doing without me like just talking and talking and talking. So I didn't want to do that. So I had to create an artifact for the coach, and just experimented with what are some ways I could report data that I was already collecting to my administrators. And what I came up with was this simple thing, which is it tracks the number of conversations or coaching interactions that I've had in the past week. It reports on the number of ongoing cycles and total cycles in a year. There's a place for me to report themes or topics that are kind of trending. And then for me to identify the primary coaching stances or support functions that I'm using. And what I found immediately, right from the beginning, was that data provoked questions, much like an inquiry cycle, right? You have provocation, and then the questions come. My admin colleagues were asking questions that they saw some things in the data dashboard, and they're asking questions because they were curious and they wanted to understand either what the data meant or what the implication was. And I found very quickly they had a much fuller understanding of the work I was doing and how I was spending my time and where the success and where the struggles were than if I had talked and talked and talked and talked. So it was like right from the beginning, it was a success. And what I found is that it started that way, and now what's happening, because we've done this a couple dozen times maybe already, is what I mean is we've used this dashboard, in many meetings now. Conversation has progressed so that they now have an understanding that the more precise they are when they are articulating a goal for a group of people, like the whole division or subgroups within that, the more precise they are about the outcomes, the easier it is for coaches, people like me, to use coaching to support those reaching those outcomes. And it's a lot easier to talk about what's happening without breaking confidentiality. It's much easier to operate as a coach. They know my role, they know my boundaries, and there's lots of opportunity because we have a shared understanding of what that is, to talk openly without ever getting into kind of territory that might compromise things that we say or have boundaries around them. So the use of this dashboard has really, it initially just plugged a hole, but it's also created this entire opportunity for shared understanding and collaboration between coaches and administrators that wasn't available before. They can also tell, because there's some patterns that develop, like there's about, like in a regular week, usually there's about 10 to 16 coaching interactions that get recorded in that time. And so if there's something above that or below that, they notice it, right? I don't have to tell them like, oh, it was a busy week, or, oh, this big disruption happened. They can tell right from the data. And, it makes my work feel valued, visible, and all those other positive things that coaches are looking for when they interact with their supervisors. So it was just a little experiment when I started, and it's turned into something really great. So I'm going to keep using it. And I encourage anybody else to use it or something like it, because the data, coaches have to spend a lot of time working on data. I think like the two big things are like data and reflection. If coaches can operate in those two domains, like really good things are going to happen. And so I like that I am following my own guidelines or suggestions, right? That I'm providing data to this group. I'm part of the group, but we have a chance to interact with it and make meaning out of it. And that's what I want to do with other people in my school. So it also feels really good that I get to act like a coach in a meeting with my administrators about how coaching is going. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for watching this clip with Andrew. This experiment of creating a data dashboard that Andrew tried has inspired so many conversations in the SAS private cohort of the coach, of course, but also in the Coach Global cohort and in our other course, Coaches as Leaders for Experienced Coaches. It is such a practical, actionable, simple step that coaches can take immediately, not only to get a high-level picture of their own work, which is super important, and as I mentioned, part of the Measuring Your Impact quick tip episode that I will link up here and in the show notes, but also to start really great conversations with your school leaders. We know that administrators want to see the data on coaching, and that is reasonable. We need to provide that data. But it's also easy to get sidetracked into who and the what about this coaching data. This level of data that Andrew is sharing helps keep the conversation at a level where administrators can make high-level, impactful decisions without getting distracted by personal details that may not actually be necessary. As Andrew points out, it also helps you and your administrators see patterns in the work, which is hugely valuable. One of the other challenges that coaches struggle with is maintaining confidentiality. I have another quick tip about this that I'll link up here and in the show notes for you. And this data dashboard helps provide you a format and a structure for sharing that information without breaking confidentiality. If you have been thinking about how to share coaching data and what data to share with your principal, Andrew and I both hope you'll test something like this out. And if you do, please let us know. Leave a comment below, send me a message on Instagram or LinkedIn so we can hear about what worked. And if you want to have deeper conversations about your coaching practice so you can start to implement strategies like this with intention, come join us in one of our courses for coaches. We talk about the importance of collecting data and measuring your impact in all of our courses at the level that's just right for your experience. We host 4 global cohorts each year, and each of them are designed to help you take the next step in your coaching practice based on your current experience level. If you're an educator or a leader ready to learn about a coaching mindset, come join us in Cultivating a Coaching Mindset. If you're a brand new or aspiring coach making the move from classroom to coach, come join us in Getting Started as an Instructional Coach. If you're a current coach or an educator dedicated to building a thriving coaching program while deepening your coaching practice over an entire academic year, join us in the Coach Certificate and Mentorship Program. That's the program that Andrew did. If you're a coach who's ready to lead and embrace your leadership and advocate for the systems and structures that make coaching sustainable, join us in Coaches as Leaders. Find them all at coachbetter.tv/learn. Global cohorts open once a year. And if you're not sure which course is right for you, watch one of our free workshops designed for your experience level so you can take the next step in your coaching practice right now and uncover which course might be right for you next. You can find them all at coachbetter.tv/learn. Wherever you are in your coaching journey, we can support you. If you're curious right now, if you have questions, please reach out. You can leave a comment down below. You can ask a question on our website at coachbetter.tv/ask. You can join our Coach Better Facebook group, or you can find us on social media at Eduro Learning and send me a DM. I'd love to support you on your coaching journey. See you next time.